Hey everybody, my name is Shauna and welcome to my Shauna Moana channel. Today is Tuesday, you know what that means, Tuesdays and Fridays are my going days. I was going to call this video my fetal alcohol syndrome story, but instead I'm going to call this video what was it like growing up with fetal alcohol syndrome. I will be talking about my childhood and the diagnosis and what my life is like today. So yeah, let's get started. It is FASD Awareness Month, and because it's almost over, I want to keep talking about it. After that, I have no idea what's going to happen. My first three memories are being in the crib, going to a water park, and being at the airport. I just want to make sure the angle is okay. So, I was born in Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada, but I moved to Coquitlam, which is outside of Vancouver. And yeah, I was actually in the hospital for 3 days after I was born because my mom drank alcohol during pregnancy with me, and she also did some drugs. And yeah, she was actually supposed to stay at this center, I think, but she always snuck out, and nobody knows what my mom was doing. So yeah, my childhood wasn't like completely sad. Like, I do have a lot of fun memories, like playing with the Nintendo, the Dreamcast. Like, I grew up playing Banjo-Kazooie. There was 101 Dalmatians and The Grinch. So many other video games. Like, I remember the video games. I remember when Xbox came out and my family and I went to Costco. Okay, this is kind of embarrassing, but when the Xbox first came out, it was so shiny. Costco was busy at the time, and I just remember going like this or doing this just to look at the Xbox. It was so embarrassing. It was funny I didn't even know what I was doing at the time, but now it's like embarrassing and funny because I was doing this, trying to see the new Xbox game. I was trying to look at the shiny box. Oh my god. I remember Coke Music, Habbo Hotel, and so many other video games. But here comes the bad stuff. I did not go through physical abuse. It was mostly verbal abuse. My aunt, after my foster mom passed away, my aunt, who was her best friend, moved in with us after a fire. And all I remember is the verbal abuse, being forced to do yard work in the hot sun, handing out advertisements for my aunt's cleaning business or something, setting up weddings. I don't remember much. All I remember is just being scared all the time from my aunt because she was an alcoholic, and she is an alcoholic. She has cancer right now, and I don't think she's able to drink, but she's just always hated me, I think, because every time I would laugh or smile or get excited, she would call me names just to make me cry or to feel bad. And she's not like that anymore, but I just remember her being like that. And then my aunt and I became close. She started being nice to me, giving me compliments. We would go shopping. We would go out to eat. And the two worst memories that I have from my childhood are being left alone in the car in a parking lot while she went inside Costco to shop for a few hours. I wasn't by myself. I don't know if my other siblings were with me, like how many of them were, because I grew up with 5 siblings in total, so it was my 4 older siblings, 2 sisters, 2 stepsisters, one sister completely unrelated, and then my biological brother and me. So I don't know if all of us were in the car at the time, but that was one bad memory. And then another bad memory is just heartbreaking, but my aunt took me out to Applebee's and she left my sister, one of my sisters, in the car. I think it was hot out, and I think the windows were rolled up. I just remember the look on my sister's face and me not being able to do anything. Those are the two worst memories from my childhood. And the diagnosis, like me being diagnosed with fetal alcohol syndrome, is because we were all adopted. When you're in foster care, you are pretty much assessed by social workers just to see if you have any disorders, disabilities. And for me, I had to go through several assessments because they, as they were assessing me, I had to go through more tests because they knew that something was like, okay, something's up with her. I don't remember getting into a fight with my brother, but one of the doctors who diagnosed me with fetal alcohol syndrome, he told my dad, like, she's angry, she's locked. She doesn't know how to stop being angry. She doesn't know how to calm herself down. So I used to kick holes in walls. I used to, I used to, like, not fight people, but in school I was kind of like half the bully and half the victim because I was all over the place. I didn't really belong in a group because, back in school people were in different groups. I was kind of just all over the place. And I was diagnosed with ADHD. I don't know how old I was. All I remember is that I was taking pills that made me isolated. I was picking at my eyes, skin, and, eyelashes. And yeah, my dad, he just got so upset and he took me off the pills. And I don't know which doctor who actually said she has fetal alcohol syndrome. I think they all did, or most of them did, because when I was 22, I was about 22 years old when I was reading this paper that is by Dr. Joanne Lewicki. It was Dr. Klein noted that Shauna had been diagnosed, me, of course, diagnosed with fetal alcohol syndrome and also had to be withdrawn from drugs at birth. So, yeah. I don't know how many doctors actually diagnosed me with fetal alcohol syndrome. I don't know if it was 4 or 5. I just know that I have my notebook here for my presentations. It took psychologists and psychiatrists. There's a family doctor, and a social worker had to go with my dad and I to the ODSP office in Windsor to where I live now. So we had to go to the ODSP office so I could be accepted onto disability, because once I was done with the CAS, which stands for Children's Aid Society, once I was done with them, a social worker from CAS had to go with me to the ODSP office. I don't know what that stands for, but yeah, my dad tried to get me on disability by himself. I was rejected a few times until a social worker came with us. So yeah, today I have done 4 presentations about me sharing my story of what it's like to live with fetal alcohol syndrome. I share my story, and I have all this information where, like, I have lots of different stuff. Mostly this is just what helps me with the slideshow that I use for my presentations. I've done 4 presentations in total, and it's mostly to social workers and PSWs. That stands for personal support worker. I have 2 PSWs right now, one who comes to the house every now and then. We go out for lunch, and another one where we get to do some fun activities. Yeah, I have learned so much information on my own disability. I have learned just how to cope with anxiety and the panic attacks and other stuff like that. I'm still learning so much more information that is new to me, even though when I go online and I look up some information about fetal alcohol syndrome, some of these articles and stuff are from years ago. And it's like, it's shocking, but it's exciting because I'm learning to like have more self-awareness. But at the same time, it's like sometimes I can't control how I feel. I can't control how I react in some situations, and some people may look at me like, why do you lack compassion? Like, why don't you have any empathy? And it's crazy with like how much information that I've learned about having fetal alcohol syndrome. I'm still learning more information every day. I'm excited to keep on sharing my story. I don't know when my 5th presentation is going to be. I have a meeting October 5th, I believe, unless the date changes. I don't know when I see my PSW again. I have so many more meetings coming up. I have so many people that I have to meet still. And it's obviously going to be scary talking in front of people. And a lot of people, they tell me, I don't know how you speak in front of people. Like, aren't you scared when all the eyes are on you? Yes, I do. I freak out, but I'm excited because I finally get to talk about my disability. And, you know, when people ask me before, what do you do for a living? I used to freak out and feel ashamed of myself, but now that I know I have fetal alcohol syndrome, I'm proud to tell people I have a disability that is incurable. There is no treatment for it. I live with fetal alcohol syndrome, and I'm sharing my story because I want to spread awareness, and I'm proud of it. And yeah, how long have I been recording for? Okay, I have to go now. I hope this video is able to upload. I really thought that this video was going to be 1 or 2 parts, but I think this is good enough. Please continue to subscribe, like this video, comment down below, turn on the bell for notifications. My social media links are down in the description box below, along with anything that I forgot to say. I literally had to write everything down on a piece of paper because that was very helpful. I hope to see you guys next time because anything can happen. Peace.